So bring yourself into the center of your mat, and whichever way you've crossed your legs, habitually take them the other way. So you get that kind of 5% irritation that it doesn't quite feel right. It's kind of deliberate because I'm here to ruin your day. I joke. At least I hope I'm not here to ruin your day. Good, let's start to lengthen out our spines by reaching the crown of our head towards the ceiling. I'm not happy with my hair today. Yesterday I was like, oh, I can do this growing it out thing, not going to get it cut. And today I was wrestling with it and I'm just, no, it's just a no from me today. It's one of those days. Anyway, long breath in through your nose. And a nice long breath out. And see how long you can make this breath go out for. It might help if you blow the air out in a hiss or in a whistle. And just do that a couple of times, just to get yourself nice and settled and ready for today's class. While you start to get yourself nicely settled, I also want you to start thinking about one area of your body that you would like to focus just a little bit extra of your energy on today. Again, it can be as broad as an area of your body like your torso, or it could be as specific as your left ear. I'm not entirely sure how you would work your left ear, but it's an option for you. And then once you started to settle on what sort of area of your body you want to focus on, just give that part of your body a bit of a squeeze. Just see how it's feeling. And then also start to think about how you want to pay attention to this area. Is it that you want to work it harder than you normally do? Or is it because you're aware of it and it's causing you problems at the moment and you actually want to be careful of it? So being really clear about what intention you're setting for this part of your body. And then start to bring your mind back to your breath. See if you can find that rhythm of breathing. Again, bringing in a Ujjayi breath here if that's something that you like to do during these practices. Good, and then if you haven't done so already, just start to close your eyes and gently tilt your chin down to lengthen out the back of your neck. Good, nice and slowly. I want you to turn your head to the left and then round to the right. Good, let's interlace the fingers and reach our hands up towards the ceiling and just shift your body a little bit from side to side, just so you're trying to stretch out that side of your body a little bit more. Good, let's uninterlace our fingers, take a little twist over towards the left, and then a twist over towards the right. Good, and then come back to center. Just shake out your wrists, squeeze your fingers and open them just to loosen them up a little bit. Good. Roll yourselves round onto all fours on your mat. Good. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Press the finger pads down just a little bit more firmly. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to slide our left leg back. So we're pressing that heel back and look forwards. Good. Bring that knee back to where it is and then slide your right leg back. Again, look forwards. Good. Again, left leg goes back, look forwards. And then right leg goes back. Good. Left leg. and right leg. Good. This time take the left leg all the way back and up, away from the floor. Good. Curl it underneath and step it up in between your hands. Inhale, let's lift into a low lunge. And exhale, let's fold ourselves back. Let's slide that left leg all the way back and up. Making sure your right toes are tucked. We're going to lift ourselves up and back into a three-leg dog. Good. Curl that knee underneath you and step the foot up in between your hands. Lift yourself into a high lunge. And then fold yourself back down towards the floor. Bring your right knee down. Good. We're going to do the same movements just with the right hand side. So when you're ready, lift your right leg up. Good. Curl the leg underneath you and step the foot up in between your hands. Lift. Low lunge. Exhale, back to frame that front foot. Good. Slide that foot all the way back out. Lift off of the left knee into a three-leg dog. Curl the leg under. Step the foot up. Lift into a high lunge. And then fold yourself back down. Left knee comes down. And then just bring yourself back to all fours. Good. Let's shift our hips from side to side. Maybe bringing our shoulders in with it. Good. Now let's take our right toes out a little bit more to the right hand side and bring our right hand a little bit further forwards. Good. We're going to reach our left leg back and up. And then we're going to turn to the side. Good. Now just use your left fingertips to hold you steady. And then when you're ready, reach that arm over your head. Now you may have to play around with where your right toes are just to stabilize yourself. Good. Now when you're ready, inhale to lengthen the hand and the foot away from each other. And then exhale to bring the elbow towards the knee. Good. Inhale again to lengthen them out. Exhale to draw them in. Keep them as elevated as possible here. Good. Again, inhale to straighten them out. Good. And then exhale to draw them towards one another. Good. Start to turn towards the floor, keeping that knee and elbow together. And then re-extend, this time facing forwards, pelvis pointing towards the floor. Hold it there. Breathe. Good. Let's bring both knee and hand back down towards the floor. Take an all fours position. And again, just wiggle your tailbone and your shoulders. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Ooh.
Could you try again?
Oh, my Siri's going off. Okay, let's take our left toes out to the side and bring our left hand forwards as we start to take our right leg back and turn towards the right hand side. Good. Bring that right arm over your head. Reach your right hand and your right foot as far away from each other as possible before bringing the two in on your exhale. Good. Again, inhale, reach them out. Exhale, bring them in. Inhale, reach them out. Exhale, bring them in. Good. Turn back towards the front. Re-extend. Hold it there. Breathe. Good. Let's bring everything back down towards the floor. Wiggle your tailbone from side to side. And then bring your hands a little bit further forwards. Finger pads pressing in. Elbows go out to the side a touch and then scoop them in towards one another as you lift your knees away from the mat and take yourself into downward facing dog. Good. Press more weight into your right leg and lift the left leg slowly up behind you. Good. Now straighten out your right leg. And then bring the left leg back down. Rebend into your knees. Downward facing dog. Good. Again, inhale, lift. This time right leg up. Straighten the left. And then bring that leg back down. Good. Rebend into those knees. Lift your bum up as high as you can. Good. We're going to pull forwards into a plank. We're going to take our hands a little bit wider off of the edges of the mat. Good. Now strengthen your body. Press your heels back. And then slowly begin to press your chest down towards the floor. Elbows go out to the side. Good. Bring yourself softly down onto the floor. Untuck your toes. Good. Then we're going to reach our hands behind us and lift our legs away from the floor as well. So you should feel this on your lower back. Look forwards. Breathe. Good. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Retuck your toes. Now, if you haven't got the strength here to press all the way up, you can do knees first and then up. Or challenge yourself. Roll those shoulders back and press yourself up to a plank. Good. Let's lift our hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. Long breath in here. Sigh it out. Long breath in. Sigh it out. Good. As you start to take in your third breath, ripple forwards again into a plank, nice and slowly. This time we're going to bring our hands so that our thumbs are touching. So it's a shallow press up that's coming. Good. Now start to turn the creases of your elbows forwards and look forwards. Now again, you can bring your knees to the floor here if you wish. As you start to bend your elbows, taking yourself slowly again down towards the floor. When your chest touches your thumbs, see if you can push yourself all the way back up. Good. And then back into downward facing dog. Hands come apart into their normal shoulder width apart. Good. Breathe. Long breath in. Let it go. Good. Now, as you inhale, let's lift our left leg up. Good. Straighten out the right leg and then curl that left leg underneath you and step the foot up in between your hands. Good. Now inhale and rise into a high lunge. Good. Strong bend into your front knee. Good. We're going to bring our hands onto our waist. And then we're going to start to lean forwards and press more weight into our front foot. So we can lift the back leg off, gather it in, squeeze that right knee up towards your chest, and then cross the leg over and hook the toes around the back, like this. Good. If you can't quite get your foot all the way around, just take it across the leg and out to the side like this. Hooking the toe is optional. Good. Now let's bring our arms forwards. Hold your balance. Good. Start to take right arm underneath left. And again, wrap the arms. Oh, lost my balance here. Bringing yourself into eagle. Eagle arms and eagle legs. Good. Hold yourself there. Breathe. Good. Now start to uninterlace your arms. Bring them up towards the ceiling. Good. Uninterlace your leg Reach it back up towards the ceiling. Good. Now we're going to move ourselves into warrior three. So reach forwards with your hands and reach back with your leg. Good. Nice and slowly, see if you can pop that back leg down onto the floor. Come back into high lunge. Good. Bring your hands into a prayer down past your chest. Turn to the left. Ooh. I'm all over the place balance-wise today. Do apologise. I hope you're doing better. Good. Strengthen your back leg. Turn more to the left if you can. Breathe. Good. Option here is to bring your your right hand down onto the floor, onto the outside of your left foot, and to bring your other hand onto the back, onto your lower back. Okay, there's an option there. Or you can be up here, holding that pose. Good. Let's come back to center, re-extend up into high lunge. Fold yourself down towards the floor. Send yourself back and up into a three-leg dog. Good. Let's bend that left knee and start to open our hips to the side. So keep lifting that leg up and turn and see if you can look underneath your left armpit. Good. Now square yourself back towards the floor and bring your left leg back down onto the floor. Good. Let's pull forwards again into a plank. Hands go wide. Knees down if you need to. Elbows out to the side to take a wide stance to press up. Good. And then come all the way back up. See if you can do it. Good. Take yourself back. Downward facing dog. Good. When you're ready, right leg lifts. Good. Curl this leg underneath you and step it up in between your hands. Good. When you're ready, rise into a high lunge. Good. Bring your hands onto your hips. Press into your front foot, lean forwards, and then lift. Back leg off. Gather it in. Lift that left knee as high as you can. Again, cross that leg over. And if you're able to, hook the toes. Good. Bring your arms out. This time taking left arm under right and making your eagle arms. Good. Any variation of eagle arms to whatever your body is able to do here as well. Breathe. Hold yourself steady. Control your breath. Good. When you're ready, uninterlace your arms. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Uninterlace your legs. Good. Bend that left knee. And then again, begin to take yourself towards warrior three. Good. Nice and slowly, let's plant that back foot down. Come up into high lunge. Hands come down towards your chest. Let's turn to the right. See if you can find your balance. Strengthen your back leg. High on the toes. If you want to go a little deeper, perhaps bringing the left hand down onto the outside of the right foot. Other hand on the lower back. It's up to you. Yogi's choice. Good. Wherever you are, bring yourself back. Lift those arms. Exhale to fold forwards. Good. Lift yourself up and back. Three-leg dog. Bend that right knee. Open the hips. High on the left toes. Breathe. Good. Let's square our body back towards the floor. Bring our hands together so that our thumbs are touching. Pull forwards into a plank. This time, send your elbows back towards you as you lower yourself down into a press up. And back up. Good, take those hips high. Downward facing dog. Hands come wide. Knees come down and wide. Untuck your toes and take a child's pose. Good, gather in as much breath as you can. Good, when you're ready, pull yourself up and make your way back into downward facing dog. Gently sway your legs from side to side, your hips, sorry. Good, when you're ready, press more weight into your left leg and lift your right leg up. Good, hold yourself nice and steady here, straighten out your left leg. Good, then curl. Right leg underneath and step it up in between your hands. Good, let's pivot onto the back foot. So we're coming up with our arms into warrior two. Good, take a moment to check your footing and that everything is happy in your hips. Good, and that the inner right knee is trying to pull out to the side and not collapsing in. Good, arms come out, look over your front hand. Good, now start to sink down. Good, go as far as you can until you feel like you can't go any further. Bring it back 10% and lift your right heel away from the floor. Good, I know this is gonna burn your calves, but you're gonna have whopping calves by the end of it, like your knees swallowed a grapefruit. Good, let's bring our right elbow to touch the top of our right thigh. Good, now reach the other arm over. See if you can still keep that right heel lifted. Breathe. Good, if you want to go deeper here, take this right hand off the front knee and reach it forwards. Breathe. Sink a little lower. Good, now lower the heel back to the floor and bring yourself back up. Warrior two. Good, let's sink ourselves back into our deep warrior. Turn the front palm, take the back arm round your back, and then leaning into your forearm, reach up with your right hand. Good, now let's pivot those hands down towards the floor, unplug your back heel, and take yourself up and back, three-leg dog. Good, breathe, come high on your left toes. Good, bend the right knee and open the hips up again. Good, and then square yourself back to the floor. And then lift your left leg up. Good, curl the leg underneath. Step it up in between your hands. Breathe. Good, now lower your heel to the floor. Pivot yourself up. Warrior two. Check your foundation. Breathe. Hands come out. Good, when you're ready, let's start to sink down. When you feel like you can't sink any further, begin to lift the heel of your left foot. Hold it there, breathe. If your leg's shaking, breathe through it. Good, let's start to bring that left elbow down onto the top of the left thigh. and reach our right arm over. Keep breathing. Just see if you can keep that left heel raised. Again, option here to reach that other hand forwards, or if there's a wall in the way like with me, you can always bring it out to mirror the top hand. Good. Wherever you are, come back into warrior two. Good, let's lower that heel down. Turn the front palm. Wrap the other arm around our back. Reach up. Bend in. Good, come back to center. Keep those hands moving to pivot yourself down. Unplug your back heel. Shift yourself up and back into a three-leg dog. Again, bend that left knee. Open the hips up to the side. Keep breathing. Good, and then square yourself back towards the floor. Let's bring ourselves nice and slowly forwards into a plank. Keeping our hands shoulder distance apart. Breathe. Now let's start to slowly begin our descent down. And when you get halfway, pull forwards, roll over your toes, and come up into upward facing dog. And then gently rock your hips from side to side. Good. Then bring your knees to the floor. Bring your upper thighs. Bring your pelvis. Bring your abs, chest, and finally your forehead. Breathe. Let's start to reach our hands back to the back of the room again. But this time, bend your knees and take hold of your feet if you can. If you can't, just reach for your feet. Same principle. For those with your feet, kick. Lift yourself into bow pose. And look forwards. For those reaching, same thing. Shoulders back. Breathe. Good, and then slowly release. Bringing everything back to where it was. So hands underneath shoulders, shoulder distance apart. Let's re-tuck our toes and either push yourself onto all fours first and then go back into downward facing dog. Or for those of you who want to challenge yourselves, press the floor away and then lift yourself back to downward facing dog. 3 long breaths. Good. After you finished your 3 breaths, let's bring our right hand more centrally in front and lift our right leg up. We're going to curl the right knee underneath this. We're going to pivot on our back foot. So same as back as warrior 2 fitting. We're going to bring our left hand down to stabilize ourselves if we need it, or we're going to lift it to the ceiling. It's entirely up to you as we start to take this right leg straight out in front of us, remembering to lift our hips up. So we're either here or here. Good. Gather that right knee in and immediately turn onto the other side of your left foot, bringing your right foot down into our wild thing. Good, come back to center. Downward facing dog. Same thing on the other side. Left hand centrally, left knee in. Turn onto the heel of your right foot. Extend both limbs where possible. Or bring your right hand down. Good, when you're ready, turn yourself back round. Turn onto the other edge of your foot. Bring your left foot down and reach. Wild thing. And don't worry if you haven't been able to do these poses. They are slightly more advanced. Fallen star and wild thing. Even if you've ended yourself back in child's pose, that is absolutely fine. Yeah, going back into downward facing dog. Breathing. Okay, when you're ready, let's lift our left leg up and then curl it underneath, stepping that foot up in between our hands. Let's lower our right knee down and take that left foot right to the edge of the mat. Right hand wide. We're going to bring our left hand onto the inside of our left knee and push the knee away from us and lean in the opposite direction. Okay? And breathe. If you want to go a little deeper with this pose, you can always take the back knee, away from the floor. Breathe wherever you are, breathe. Good, if you lifted your back knee, just gently place it back down. Bring that left knee back in towards your body, but bring your left hand onto the inside of that leg. And then gently do forwards, side, to the left, back, to the side on the right, and then forwards again. So we're making a square, or more like rectangular shape with our hips. Good, once you finish that round, bring that left leg back into the center. Lift that back knee away. Take yourself up and back into a three-leg dog. Option here to keep yourself in a three-leg dog as you pull forwards into a three-leg plank and lower yourself down through chaturanga and cobra. Or just do all of that normally. Good, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Same thing, right hand side. Right leg lifts. Ooh, there's a chair. Good, curl it underneath. Step the foot up in between your hands and lower your back knee down. Shift that right foot out towards the side. Left hand comes wide as well. Right hand onto the inside of your right knee as you start to press the leg away from you, pressing your torso in the opposite direction. Again, option here to lift back knee if you want to go a little deeper. And breathe. Good, wherever you are, make sure your back knee is down. Right hand comes onto the inside of your right leg. And again, let's do that rectangular motion with our hips. So forwards to the right, back to the left, forwards. Good, and keep those movements going. Good, and then when you finish, last one. Bring that right leg, right foot back into the center. Lift the back knee and take yourself back into a three-leg dog. Again, option here to do a three-leg chaturanga or do it normally. It's entirely up to you. And then let's finish that little sequence with a child's pose. Give yourself that permission to come into a resting pose. Good, then nice and slowly, let's roll ourselves up onto our heels. Good. We're going to do a few different ways in which we're going to stretch out the front part of our body. An area that's not often done in yoga. It's more about back and leg stretching. So we're going to try camel. And if you want to go even further, there's another little exercise that we can do. So taking our knees so that they are hip distance apart and that our toes are tucked. We're going to bring our hands so that they rest in fists on our lower back and try and draw our elbows towards one another. Okay? Now try your best not to push your hips forwards here, but instead just press the two into each other and lift your chest. Now we're going to start to lean back. Now, if you're able to, you may be able to bring your hands down onto your ankles. If you want to go further, you might be able to untuck your toes. Or even bring your hands straight down towards the floor. Only go as far as your body allows you to. If this is still not enough to stretch out the front part of your quads and the front part of your body, you can always go into the full, can't remember the name of the pose now, where we take our knees wide, sit back down and bring ourselves onto our forearms first and then sink back. Okay, so that's an option there for those of you who want to stretch even further and feel like you want more than just from camel pose. So decide what works best for you. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up and back to your on your knees position like this, with your toes tucked. We're then going to bring our hands forwards enough until our hips are over the top of our knees. And then just allow our chest to sink down for a little counter twist on our upper back. Into puppy pose. Good, and then slowly draw yourself back. Shift yourself to sitting on your bum. Bring your legs around and take them straight out in front of you. Good, see if you can sit upright in this kind of L shape that you're making with your body. We're going to lift our arms up towards the ceiling on our inhale. And then exhale, we're going to press our chest forwards. When your chest can't go forwards anymore, or even if it barely moves, drop your hands. Slide them underneath wherever your hands get to. And then continue to try and press your chest forwards, keeping your shoulders relaxed and back. So if at any point you feel like your shoulders are pulling further forwards than your chest, just to do things like reach your toes, roll them back, and then refold. Good. Slowly roll your body up. Reach your hands back towards the ceiling. Now press and dig your heels down into the floor. And then see how slowly, engaging your core muscles across the front of your body, see how slowly you can roll yourself down towards the floor. And once you get fully down and you've lengthened yourself out as much as you possibly can, fingers reaching towards the back of the room, toes reaching towards the front. Take a long breath in and draw your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around your knees and gently rock yourselves from side to side. Good. Just start to lower your right foot down towards the floor and just shift your left leg over. So it's like you're crossing your legs, like you might do if you were sitting on a seat. Good. Just start to take your right foot just a little bit further forwards and a little bit to the left. And then when you're ready, let's reach our left arm back to the back of the room as you start to take your knees over to the right hand side. Stretching out the left side of your body. Good. Slowly start to draw those knees back up. Slide that left leg a little bit further out to the side, but still keeping the left ankle on top of the right knee. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left knee and just press it away from you. Good. And then swap over your legs. So cross your right leg over your left. Take your right hand back to the back of the room. And when you're ready, roll your knees to the left. Stretching out the right side of your body. Breathe. And start to draw that leg back, up, and bring that right knee a little bit further over, but still keeping that right ankle on top of the left knee. Right hand to right inner thigh, and just press it away from you. Good, and then unhook that right foot. Now slowly begin to press your legs forwards so you come to lying flat down on the floor. And your hands either down by your side or resting on your belly so you can feel the rise and fall of your breath. Start to loosen your jaw. Just sink into the floor. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes and your nose. And using an inhale, draw your knees back in towards your chest. And roll yourself to the right or left-hand side. Pressing yourself up, taking this time the habitual way that you cross your legs. Hands on your knees or in your lap. Take a long breath in through your nose. And then let it go. Flutter your eyelids open. Thank you for joining today. Oh, it's gone a little skewy. Improvement? No. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever it is that you have planned. But to all of you who have practiced here today, but most importantly to yourselves for bringing yourself to a power class, you can bow and say, Namaste.